Hey guys, welcome back to the Blissful Athlete. Thank you for tuning in. In my last video, I talked a little bit about the third eye and the power of what's called Deeksha or initiation, and the importance of having an enlightened master initiate you in order to awaken your third eye. Today, I want to expand a little bit about the science behind this and how it also correlates with the awakening of the Kundalini Shakti. A common understanding or a common term in the yoga world. So Deeksha or initiation is a deeply mystical process, but it can be explained to some extent by the principle of entanglement. Entanglement is a term used in quantum theory to describe the way that particles of energy and matter can become correlated to interact with each other in predictable ways, regardless of how far apart they are. This means that the state and action of one of these particles can influence the state and actions of others through the process of interference. So entanglement is the principle behind all processes involving energy transfer, whether spiritual healing, Kundalini awakening, levitation, teleportation, or materialization. Now, an enlightened being has the power to raise others into his own elevated state by the subtle pressure of his presence. When the mind of the receiver comes in touch with the no mind or thought-free mind of an enlightened being, a process similar to entanglement happens, and thoughts subside in the mind of the receiver. Entanglement happens when the receiver, such as you or I, is mentally in tune with the source and is open to receiving the energy. An example of this is spiritual healing or third eye awakening. When entanglement happens at a deeper level of muscle memory, my guru calls it entrainment. During Kundalini awakening, entanglement can happen irrespective of the mental state of the receiver. Initiation has permanent physiological and psychological effects because during initiation, entanglement penetrates the biomemory of the receiver. Swamiji calls this enlightenment. In that state, in that sense, in that moment of the initiation, the receiver actually experiences a space identical to that of an enlightened being. But because we don't have strong yogic bodies and our nervous system can't hold that space, the receiver gradually loses the experience, what we refer to as through energy leaks. This is an experience that anyone can have as long as you prepare the system to receive it. So for me, being a meat eater growing up and drinking a lot of alcohol and dabbling with drugs, all of that was nullified from my process actually, because Swamiji was able to clear all of these toxins and negative emotions and just all of the negative energy that's within me, simply through going through what was called the Inner Awakening program. I remember when Swamiji actually awakened my Kundalini, it was about 2 weeks into the Inner Awakening program, after my body felt so clean just from eating vegetarian food and going through that completion process. And we were doing a meditation, and it was called the Life Bliss Meditation, Nithya Dhyaan Meditation. Now, I'll post a link to that meditation below. But at the end of it, Swamiji, he said, Om Namah Shivaya, and all of a sudden I just felt this spark of Kundalini shoot up from the base of my spine. And all of a sudden it was just like, I knew that it was Kundalini. It was very, very subtle, but it was there and it happened. And ever since that moment, now I can actually play. I can play with the Kundalini energy. I can shoot it up and down my spine simply because of this entanglement that I experienced with an enlightened being, with the avatar, His Holiness Paramahamsa Nithyananda. One important thing to understand is that with repeated initiations, these powerful positive experiences get bolted into our body and it becomes part of your biomemory, releasing you from negative mental patterns that you have carried forward in many lives. If you want to have your Kundalini awakened, it will literally take decades and if not lifetimes of personal effort to do it on your own. And yes, it is dangerous to do it on your own, but just like third eye awakening, when it's done by an enlightened master, it is simple, safe, and guaranteed. And that's speaking from my own experience. Today I can literally play with my Kundalini like I'm saying. And so this is something that everybody on the planet, if you're interested in whether it's third eye awakening, Kundalini, the best way to have it done is through an enlightened being in what's called the Deeksha, entanglement, entrainment process. And this is very much a science now that quantum physics is beginning to understand today. Thank you for tuning in, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please leave me a comment down below. If you have any questions, concerns, you can also hit me up there. Again, if you haven't yet subscribed to the channel, please do so. Hopefully you enjoyed this, and looking forward to sharing some more content with you about developing the yogic body, establishing that Vedic mind, really connecting you to the ultimate, the cosmos, Sadashiva. Take care. As always, guys, be blissful.